Hello, and welcome to the Spiral Dimension. I'm Dr. Von Hoot, and this is the Parliament of Mowls. But first, bullets are flying, he said with becoming modesty. Bombs going bang! They'll be here soon. Things move fast in modern war. Give that something to the United States of America that you never gave before, he said earnestly.
There you go.
Don't you think that's kind of weird? Not weird, but like exciting weird.
Well, they were important words, I feel. Something that we could all learn something from. And with that, I do declare this episode of Parliament open.
You all right?
Well, hello, Mr. Fatstacks. How are you, sir?
Oh, Mr. Parliamentarian, I do have a statement I'd like to read into the official record of Parliament today, if I may.
Feel free, sir. Read away.
I think it's important that we, as a Parliament, come together here to recognize a horrible, horrible act that has been cast upon Malkind with, once again, another cancellation of the show Neighbors. Some may say that this is a mercy killing, but they have not understood the amount of joy it brings to Malkind. And thus, we call out for a moment of silence in honor of this death once again. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, we're there. Yes, a travesty. I was heartbroken. You know when you're just going through life feeling all right, and then something just punches you right in the stomach. Friday night, the news broke. Amazon not renewing Neighbors. Such a sad moment in history. And I think this is probably the end for it this time round, because it was cancelled once before. Well, it was actually cancelled twice before, but it lasted for a good 37 years in between those two cancellations. But this one feels like it's end times. Sad times. I mean, there is 40 years of it, so I could always
go back to the beginning and start over and relive those moments.
I think that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm just throwing out the live link to a few people. Let's say hello to the chat, shall we? Las Crucis is here, as always. What a legend. Matt from the Heroes for Hire Comic Club. We just had a conversation the other night, and I'm going to be on his show in April, so that'll be fun. And the Birdman, the other one. Kenneth, how you doing, sir? And that's all we're wrapped up. Okay, so now the important questions, the questions that have been burning for over 2 weeks at this point because I was unwell last week. What watch you with your eyeballs, Terry?
Quite a few things I've been finishing off over the last couple of so weeks because I haven't been on obviously either. Finished watching From, and they're still asking more questions than it is answering any of them. But it'll be interesting to see how they go. I just hope, as everybody keeps thinking, it's not going to end up losted. But there you go. I binge watched over 2 nights all the episodes of Superman and Lois, and that was very good. It's a great way the way they ended it. It was very nice. I binge watched also season 2 because I watched part of season 2 of Daredevil. I think I've even got it on DVD, but I've never got around to watching it on there. So I binge watched season 2 and 3, ready for this new one. Hopefully it's similar. I mean, certainly what we've seen of it so far, it certainly looks like it's going to be. And also I've watched, I've nearly finished season 1 of Punisher, but I think there's a season 2. I'm going to try and watch that before Daredevil ends. I don't know how much season 2 of that relates into Daredevil. And also, I've been watching the Spidey animated series, which really surprises me, a person of my age, watching a thing probably fit for 12 to 15-year-olds. But it's very, very good, very, very well made. And, I really enjoyed it. And to say, it's a shame
How many episodes is it? Because I
10.
haven't watched any of it.
It's 10 episodes.
Okay.
They
20 minutes.
Yeah, they brought out 20, 23 minutes or something like that. They brought out 2. They did 2 and then 2 lots of 3 and then 2 again, sort of thing, the following week. So the last 2 were out last week. Well, this week. This week hasn't finished yet, is it? Until tomorrow. And that was it. But I really, really enjoyed it. And I mean, I'm not one for watching animated stuff. I never was much for watching animated stuff when I was a kid, sort of thing. As far as those sort of things were concerned. I mean, I like the Flintstones was about my limit as far as that was concerned. It was about the only thing really in animation that I really enjoyed. But it's all been rather good and enjoying it. I'm just saying, I'm hopefully there'll be another Spider-Man. I would have thought so. I think there's plenty of people watching it. And I do hope that Daredevil's going to be good. It's a shame that Superman and Lois was the last one, but they ended it nicely.
Superman and Lois was a really solid show that had an ending that was better than it had any right to be, nearly. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact the rest of the show was also great, that ending would have blown me out of the water. It's really, really heartfelt stuff.
Yeah.
Rob, what's you with your eyeballs this week?
Well, I did watch obviously the required wrestling. Sometimes with my eyes closed, sometimes with them open. Kicked off NCIS Sydney. Now it's back. George and Mandy, his first marriage, the spinoff from Young Sheldon, which is of course the spinoff from it's the spinoff of the spinoff. And they, like Terry, the animated Spider-Man. I finished it up, was very pleased with it.
Tremendous. The spin-off of the spin-off for Big Bang Theory. I'm intrigued. How does it connect? I've not watched any Young Sheldon, so
Young Sheldon in its own right was Sheldon just as a kid growing up, essentially with his family. This is follows his brother Georgie, who we meet Georgie in the original Big Bang Theory. He's like the tire king of Texas or something. So has a chain of tire shops and whatnot. But this is his spinning out of the end of Young Sheldon after their father passed, and he's now got, spoiler alert here, DVH, he gets 17, he talks that he's older than he is, and he gets a college girl pregnant, and now is married and has a kid, and he's moved in with his in-laws who run a tire shop.
Right.
That he's always come up with ideas and various things and friction that goes on. But so yeah, it's Sheldon's older brother now.
I take it the last season of Sheldon's finished over there?
Yes.
Yeah, because I haven't even seen it over here yet, which is really
annoying. Okay, sorry. Spoiler alert.
No. Well, I mean,
not that you didn't already know that from.
We knew his father died from the Big Bang Theory, so I mean, that's not a spoiler.
I feel like Young Sheldon's on something over here. I know I've seen it because I nearly watched it once. I was like, well, I sort of like Big Bang Theory. Maybe I should give it a go.
It's a CBS show, so it's probably on Max or something. But
yeah, probably.
Another one.
Oh boy, Higgins hitting us with his DJ Khaled impression. Nice.
Who?
It's on. I think so. It's either on Channel 4 or Channel 5, Doctor.
Yeah. That would make sense.
On Channel 4. I can't think of myself what it was on now. I think it was on Channel 4 because what they did the last season, they showed the first couple of episodes, and then all of a sudden you could stream it all on their sort of their streaming service.
Right.
But they haven't done that with 5 yet. I don't know why. But I knew that other series was coming out. But going by how slow they are, I don't expect we'll see that new spin-off until probably next year.
Yeah, it'd be a
The
while.
way the speed they move.
That's fair.
So say hello to some people in the chat that have trickled in. We've got Rich, always a pleasure, sir. He's awesome. Brian, getting ready to release the Doctor issue 2, which is currently on Kickstarter. So everybody hit that up and get yourselves a few copies. Shop is in the place, the master of the Shopverse, the legend. Yes. And the Comic Vet. Always a pleasure, Chris. Tonight's only slabs. Or DJ brought the heat. He always does. I knew, but he kept apologizing for the personal stuff, but that was the most entertaining stuff, I felt.
That's what I like about that show. I like the stories more so than the slabs in the sense sort of thing, especially when they're showing slabs that like Marvel stuff sort of thing that I'm not that great fan of. Sorry, man.
It's good to have a little bit of both because there's some people who really dig the bangers, some people dig the personal stuff, and so it's always nice when you have a nice show that's got a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B.
Well, it would be rude to have an Amazing Fantasy 15 and a Hulk 1 and not show them. So,
and a Toast 39.
Yeah, he's got some special stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, I had a feeling that those books would show up because we hadn't. I know he had acquired them, but since his last appearance, and when you have books like that sometimes and you keep them around, you like the here's what I got. It's part of collecting.
Great show.
I enjoyed it. Next week should be fun too.
Going back to the Big Bang Theory second spin-off for a second, just because it popped into my head. Is it multi-camera like?
No, single camera.
Right. Okay. So similar to Young Sheldon rather than Big Bang Theory. Okie dokie. We are going to touch on some wrestling later. I've got a new segment if I can get the graphic to work.
Nice. If the graphic doesn't work, then fuck the segment.
And then what are we ever going to do if the graphic doesn't work? Tony, watch you with your eyeballs this week.
A lot of YouTube videos. I've went back, thanks to the greatness of Roku Live Television, and have been watching The Lone Ranger. And
the original series.
Oh yeah.
Tremendous.
And
I like it.
I bought this last night. I'm gonna start watching it, and when I get back from Indiana, anyways, because I got this, and I went, well, I'm leaving for Indiana tomorrow, but I got the Voltron set.
Trying to press the right button.
Yeah, I'm getting there. It's getting there. Boom!
Yeah,
Biggened Voltron.
And I guess I just thought it would be the line episodes, but I didn't realize the ones with the vehicle came with it too. So that's
cool. That's the full shebang then.
Yeah. Now I just need like Thundercats and She-Ra, and there was another one, and I'll have most of the 80s stuff I care about.
Nice. I can remember going back and rewatching all of Thundercats, and I wouldn't be in too much of a hurry to buy the whole set if it's expensive. If it's cheap, fine. But
no, they've got the sets on sale at Walmart for $30 a piece, and I had both of them in my hands going, which one do I want more? I'll take Voltron.
I think that's
I'd
the
be
story
more
of
interested
many
in seeing
things
how
What was that, Rob?
I say that I think that's the story of many things from our youth, is that it's best to remember them and not actually go re-experiencing them for fear that you might actually realize weren't as good as you remember.
Yeah. A fair point.
So yesterday I saw advertised Thunderbirds. They're bringing it out in 4K.
Yeah.
and sort of all all original and all the rest of it. And it does. I mean, it does look really, really super. And I was thinking, oh, shall I get? I mean, it's not out yet, but it's out soon supposedly. So I was thinking, shall I, shan't I? But then I thought, no, probably not, because I mean, I watched that back then when I was like 8 and 9, 10 years old, sort of thing.
I mean, as for the quality of the episodes, I don't know, because it's been a really long time since I watched Thunderbirds. But in theory, it was shot on film, so the restoration could be really spectacular.
Yeah. It's literally 4.3, or as it would have been. All of those episodes were made as though you could watch them at the cinema.
Yeah.
So that's how they brought it all back to life. No, it looks fantastic. What the advert, the show, but will the stories really?
That's the question.
Yeah. So really, will it catch up? But mind you, saying that, when they revamped Captain Scarlet in that kind of 3D sort of thing they did, those were really good. I watched a few. I didn't see all of them, but I did watch a few of them, and they were really well made. Not Thunderbirds. Not oh Christ, not Captain Scarlet. What was it? It was Captain Scarlet. Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yes, Captain Scarlet was the one that I remember them bringing back in CG and stuff.
Yeah.
I was always a fan of Captain Scarlet, the original, but I couldn't be doing with I didn't need a remake. Let's put it that way. So I didn't watch it. So that's it.
But they had brought Thunderbirds back the same as well, haven't they? They brought that back as well. But yeah. But no.
Okay.
Wonder you wonder it.
What read you this week? Let's start with the top here. Let's go with Tony.
All right, so I'm gonna show off some books. I am actually caught up with all my reading. The first one I didn't read. I'm just showing this off just so I could say something at the end. This is a store exclusive from a couple years ago from my LCS, Dracula, Vampirella Unholy #1. This is not mine. This is the fourth one I bought, but this one's not mine because when I get back from Indiana, my first excursion to Indiana, this one is going to go into a box and end up in the UK. So I wonder who's getting that. Now to the books I have read. Issue 5 of Nightclub 2. Really enjoying this. I'm really interested to see how this series is going to tie up with the next issue. It's been pretty cool. And for Durs, we got some Spawn love. It's King Spawn. And I like all the, what I call the main 4 Spawn titles, but anything with Gunslinger, I absolutely love. This has been pretty cool.
I've not read any of Deadly Tales of Gunslinger, but I love the covers, and it's really annoying me that I haven't got round to it. So I might have to just. I suppose it can't be that far off of the first volume being done. What issue is that? Issue 3 or 4?
That's issue 3. But the other Gunslinger's still going right now.
Oh yeah.
But got some Conan, another series that I'm just loving with every single issue that comes out. I love this cover. Another fun one, G.I. Joe. Energon G.I. Joe. I guess I'm saying I love this a lot. Transformers goes without saying. This thing is getting better with every issue. And I'm looking forward to them quit teasing us with Megatron and him just come out and kick everybody's butt. But we got Amazing Spider-Man. Like I said, I'm collecting the Scotty Young variants. This one was kind of but this one I actually enjoyed. I don't remember what the rods are that he's using. That when he dies, he uses these rods and it resurrects him. But he uses all the rods he has left, and then of course he technically dies at the end. But this made me start thinking, and I'm only going to bring this up. I'm not going to go any further. I know in a couple months they're flirting with bringing somebody back, and I was wondering if they may do that with the rods. We got Carnage. This was okay, but honestly, I just really ain't feeling it. And my favorite one that I picked up was One World Under Doom. I absolutely love this. And that's it. That's me.
I've got to agree with you about Megatron. I am like they've teased him and teased him and teased him, and he shows up, and then they continue to tease him. Just let's do some Megatroning now. I'm ready for it. That having said that, Transformers has been wonderful. What's the new character's name? Sledgehead. Is it?
Something like that.
I mean, that's spoilers, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, it's been a couple of weeks at this point. But what a cool idea with Daniel Warren Johnson's like traditional metal truck. Really cool. I love it. I can't wait for that to be a toy. I'm going to buy the heck out of it.
Yeah, start introducing new characters. Yes.
Yeah, new stuff. Why not? Oh, it's Transformers, isn't it? There's I love Transformers at the moment, but it's actually the only thing I've read, so I can move on now to Terry. What read you with this week?
Quite a few bits. I'm going to show them. As I say, I haven't been doing a new comic video because I've been getting my books fortnightly, and it seemed a bit silly to do them as well. Like new comic book day 2 weeks late. So, but so got Nightwing and the old Walking Dead and Spider Boy, but that's only because of the Daredevil crossover with it. Babs. Flash, the Warlords entered into it, but it wasn't a character I ever read before, so I mean I know about them. Dick Tracy 7, that was really good. Enjoying that. Then I missed out on Green Lantern for some reason or other. It came off my subs, but now it's getting really into the Universal thing. I'm not sure I really want to continue it anyway. Isn't that? And Dust to Dust, that's really, really good. I'm enjoying that. Woolsby and Halo. This was the last issue of Kosher Mafia. That was really good. And this is another spooky one, Prairie Mines. Redcoat. Defiant. Join the Star Trek stuff. This was very good. Lex Luthor. And this one annoyed me. I don't know about you, but I don't know whether you ever read Power, the original Power. What was it called? Power Company is the word I'm looking for. I don't know whether you ever read the original Power Company, but there was like 5 different kind of people in it. And I didn't realize this when I was getting it, that I wasn't buying those 5 people. They've got 5, people we already know sort of thing in it, and so it's put me off totally because I mean I prefer to the original characters. So I think all they've done is sort of like force fed this thing through for I don't know LGBTQ or whatever. But they're the ones I've read, and I've picked up this stuff to read.
Quick question from Mark from the Legion of Comics. Terry, what do you think about Lex getting his memories back?
It could have lasted a little bit longer. But I mean, how much of his memories has he got back completely? I mean, because at the end of that book is playing that song, so maybe he has got the full memories back. Hopefully, he's not as evil as he was. Maybe he's been able to tone himself down a little bit, or he becomes fully rampant and a hate monger for Superman again. But it would have been nice if they'd left it a little bit longer. I mean, it was obviously going to come back. Otherwise, there would have been no point to the character. But that's how I felt anyway.
I'm not this far ahead with Superman. Only about 5 issues behind, I would think, something like that. But I've actually quite enjoyed Lex being like quite amenable, as it were. It's been pretty fun.
I got this. Yeah,
I'm wondering the same. If he's going to go straight back to villain, I like this on the good foot, Lex. Yeah, that's what I feel.
Yeah. No, this came out a while ago, and I was going to get the trade But then I saw this on offer. I don't know if anybody's read it because it's supposed to be really good. Mugshots. But I got them for £5 for the 4 issues, so for £5 posted. So I don't know whether anybody's read it. So I was told it was very good. So
you'll have to let us know because
I will do.
It's an interesting set of covers at the very least.
I think I've had this about 3-4 weeks and I still haven't got around to reading it. This is supposed to be excellent. Blood Train. That's supposed to be great. Picked up a couple of oldies to fill my flash run. Really beautiful. I mean, these look as though you've just bought them off the shelf. They're so new.
Wow.
Beautiful. The condition of them.
That's tremendous.
And a friend, Grey Man, knew I was collecting a few of the, well, say newer issues of Metal Men. So I don't know the old Metal Men. That fills a few holes in. And there was what's her name on YouTube? Girl and Glamour, or what is she called? And she was showing some Elseworlds titles. Now I thought I had all the Batman Elseworlds, but she showed 2 I didn't have, so I had to get them. So I say again, I haven't read them yet, but there's that one. Was that one the Dark Joker, the Wild, and this one Batman Mask. And because of friends Scotty Vaughan, some of the issues he was showing, he showed issue 3 of this particular series, and the art and everything else on the story sounded quite weird. So I thought I'd pick it up, and I managed to find it for £10 on eBay for the 4. It's called Breathtaker, but it's a bit out there. But as is the stuff that Scotty reads, so I picked this up again. Something I haven't read yet. That's the issue he showed, but he hadn't got the other 3 either. There was that video where somebody gave him some really fantastic books. And,
they're DC. They look a bit risque for DC.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. They put it out because it says DC. I thought it was under their Vertigo line. But it's not. It's under DC. But that'll be interesting. But those anyway. That's me done.
That's tremendous, sir. Mr. Fastax, what read you this week?
I'm awake.
What's spinning you this week?
I'm crashing. I actually haven't really watched or read anything. Just haven't had time. But I do remember I forgot one thing that I did watch that I wanted to mention, which was Captain America, the new Captain America movie.
Oh,
went and saw that on Friday, and look, I didn't expect it to be cinematic masterpiece. It wasn't, but it was a solid superhero outing, and I enjoyed myself.
I unfortunately have not seen it yet. I was fully intending to see it on Friday, and then Badger went to London with Mrs. Von Hoot, and I was like, I want to take the kid. I always do with this kind of thing. So I think maybe tomorrow I'll get to see it, but that sounds fairly positive, though. Like at the very least, thumbs in the middle.
I'm perfectly fine with it. I'd watch it again. It's a solid 7 out of 10 for me.
Nice. Oh, that is positive. Yeah.
But I mean, I know that I've seen people are all over the place on whether they like it or not, and I'm just saying, for me, I went out to see a superhero movie. I didn't get hung up on any minutia. I enjoyed myself. I had some popcorn, and I went home satisfied.
I mean, that sounds like what I want at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess my roaring question is does the comedy fit? Like it's not wedged in.
It's not overly. It is. It doesn't feel like it's overly comical. Like, for example, the last Thor, Love and Thunder type thing at all. Are there jokes in it here and there? sure, it's a comic book movie. There's always going to be something here and there, but at the same time, we're dealing with our first outing with an African American Captain America, and that, well, it's not his. He's got issues that he's dealing with, and he talks about. It's not. He doesn't talk about himself and the issues of being an African American, although you still have Isaiah Thomas in this movie, and so there are some underlying elements of that still flows over. So there's some serious tones to it as well as everything else. So to have it be a complete comical thing would have been really not the right temperature for this movie whatsoever. Great callback. So what is worthwhile, I would is going back and watching that original The Incredible Hulk, not the Ang Lee ones, but the original MCU Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton, because a lot of callbacks from that.
Okay, that's a good idea. It's been a really long time since I watched that.
Right?
So,
yeah, exactly. Right, and we don't really think of it as much because it was so long ago in this game. But there's this builds off of that. There's a lot of payoffs. So
okay, that sounds quite positive. I'm cautiously optimistic. I actually completely forgot what I'd watched with my eyeballs last week. And that was the final series of Cobra Kai on Netflix. I will do this without spoiling it because it's only been a week, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I'm a massive fan of the show as a whole and couldn't be a bigger fan of Karate Kid. The show has gone a little bit off the boil in my eyes. Like they've running out of ideas quite often and trying to manufacture a reason for them to still be fighting and things. I loved how they managed to bring it back to being about what it was at its core at the start, which was, about Johnny Lawrence's journey to being a better person. And they still managed to do that at the end. So it gets a thumbs up from me. I love Captain America's in my head now. Cobra Kai, sort of the seas. So yes, that is what I've mainly been watching, other than the wrestling. So yes.
So what have you read?
Well, the only thing that I read was the Transformers. That's the only thing that I picked up. So that's why I sort of skipped over me for there. I really need to get back round to reading better. I had a good groove going for a while there, and I keep leaving my tablet at work, and that means I can't read when I'm at home very well. Hells yeah.
Yeah, I just got to the point where it's end of month again, so it's
loads and loads of contracts.
There was something something reminded me just now that in Superman and Lois, one of the things I really loved about it. I mean, there was lots of probably Easter eggs in there, but I'm not one for noticing too many. But one of them was really good. He was in the shop buying something, and she said, "That's £19 or $19.38." I thought that was great.
Yeah, that's cute.
I thought that was really good.
Rightio. Now, question time. We'll do the wrestling portion of our chat here because the graphic, I've just remembered you have to make a PDF, and that takes me a second. So,
or a JPEG or whatever. Yeah.
Well, it won't upload a JPEG, which is really annoying.
Sure, it does. I do it all the time.
Does it?
Yeah.
It will not find the damn thing here. I want it because it's a sexy graphic, but it will not find it on my PC for some reason. But hey, never mind. I'll work on it for next week.
You could hear me out on this one.
Okay.
You could hit the screen share and share the window that has your graphic if you really want to show it.
It's not that good a graphic.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So Ricky Starks has now signed with NXT, and he is now Ricky Saints, in case you were not aware. I was just wondering, do you think you would get confused if he had retained the name Ricky Starks and Zoe Starks being in the same company? Because that logically could be the only reason.
Oh, is that their reason?
That's the only thing I can think of why they have changed his name. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have thought about it, but
SmackDown last night, The Rock comes in for a promo that just confused the hell out of me, honestly.
I am with you. What was the fucking purpose?
Yes, I think
Other
that's
than
the main issue, is what was the purpose? Ultimately, where are we going with this? It's fine if it goes somewhere, but if he's not wrestling at WrestleMania, then surely that was an utter burial of Cody, who just had to stand there with his jaw slacked whilst The Rock monologued for 20 minutes in front of him.
Well, what we did, like, so last time we saw him, he came out, he congratulates Cody, whatever else, and everybody's complaint is, well, we don't, what is this? 1 second we saw him, he was the heel, now he's come out, you're all buddy. So now we've come out a couple months later to explain to everybody, so ever since last WrestleMania, we've been getting along, we're friends now. Why? You didn't explain any why, and that's fine. I guess we don't have to, but okay, fine. So you guys have been friends. You and your parents have been friends, even though you made a Mama Rhodes joke the last time you saw him. Your parents are getting along fine, but then you're acting like now you're a face, but then you turn around and you're calling after you've came out and told everybody how excited everything is to come to Louisiana for the next WrestleMania. Oh, but you're a bunch of fucking VD people filled with STDs, and you slap the syphilis off your face, and it's like, wait a second, what are you? Are you heel? Are you face? What are you doing? You're confusing me. You're talking you're not talking with any kind of excitement. Cody's not talking back to you. You're saying, I want you to be my champion. I want to have now he wants his soul in exchange for him being able to have everything he wants. So what is now he's the Undertaker or something, and he's gonna or the Grim Reaper or the devil, and he's gonna trade him his soul. I mean, what the
I feel like they're going towards him being, well, literally the final boss as a character, so that he's got to be the top heel. But in order to do that, it has to completely destroy pretty much all the other main event stuff that's going on at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you try to say that he's going to suck people in, and then all of a sudden turn and become super mega heel and cost Cody the belt at WrestleMania or something, or whatever. But I mean, to what end? I mean, unless we're going to sit there and somehow inject Rome, we're going to end up with some kind of 3-way match or something at WrestleMania where Roman's one of the freaking contenders, and he causes Roman to walk away the champion or something. Is there anything else that even makes sense?
I mean, the way the promo was done, it felt a lot like he was saying that he needs to be in the main event of WrestleMania. Like, that's what it felt like he was saying to me, but they can't do that.
That's what he was explaining last year. He was saying, explaining how we needed this, we were going to do this, but then you said no, and blah, 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 and all that stuff. But I mean, this whole thing, it just ate up a ton of time, had no energy, and all it set up was, hey, tune into the I'll see you at the Chamber.
Yeah.
What is your buy rate on the Chamber so bad somehow with that massive mega lineup you already have in the Chamber that you needed to announce that The Rock was going to be there so that way you could get a bigger buy rate?
I mean,
it's not a pay-per-view.
It makes no sense unless they're struggling to sell tickets, and they're not, because it's never been hotter. So
it made zero sense unless there was a wrestler who was supposed to be there that night and didn't make it, and they had to eat TV time, and The Rock said, "Sure, give me a mic."
they must have a plan. That's my thing. You do not do that segment without a plan. Surely. Like, I mean, it is the WWE, so that does happen. But
You don't know how much power he really has. If he's flexing, going off script, and Triple H has no choice but to freaking let him do his thing. Not that Triple H is flawless, but he doesn't seem to put out that kind of like complete nonsensical stuff.
it was a very troubling 20 minutes worth of promo. And by 20 minutes, I mean a hard, like that was a long promo of nothing much.
And what's up with this? Why did we have to give him another set of new music? I mean, alter his music yet again. When it first hit, you get the bit tinge of the classic. You go, okay, and then into garbage music.
I figured that was something to do with the New Orleans announcement. I can't see them sticking with that because that was awful. I mean, it really didn't work until it went back round to the final boss theme.
Yeah.
But their music has been extremely hit and miss for a little while now. So I don't know. I don't know. The wrestling is taking over my life again, but it leaves me with certain questions. Like, what am I doing with my time? Watching this man cut a promo for 20 minutes. Hard work.
Maybe you didn't know it was going to be 20 minutes.
Well, I mean, I like to think there's at least a point to it. Whenever, but it's such a bizarre. Am I a good guy? Am I a bad guy? Back and forth with himself. Like there was another person in the ring, but he's essentially talking to himself.
Hasn't he made enough money to not spoil it for anybody else to be there? Makes no sense. I thought he retired.
The question is he now becoming the new Hulk Hogan, right? And putting himself that I'm the reason for this and I'm the reason for that type of shit, but who knows? We'll see. Like you said, but you knew that you knew it was going to be
with him being the big bad guy, as long as at the end of it, Cody looks a lot better than him, and I'm not convinced he'll get there.
I mean, it's just the problem is that you have him. If he's vying for anything, you've got Cena in his farewell tour. You've got, unless your end game is somehow to have him attack Cody, and then Cena ends up saving him, and now it's going to be like a Cena Rock for to let the two old guys do something, but they can't do more than 5 minutes probably.
No, not without gassing or getting injured. I mean, my whole thing is, in my mind at least, and like I'm still quite annoyed at Punk, like from his behavior in AEW, but to me, it seems like it's now or never for Punk to be the genuine main event of WrestleMania, because he's that hot and his body is slowing down, so it needs to be now. And if you do all this stuff with The Rock and Cena and even Roman, it keeps diluting that down and down and down. And then, I mean, there is a sick part of me that thinks it would be hilarious if The Rock decided to say, no, Punk, I'm having this main event. That would be very funny to me, but it would be wrong for business, and I don't want that. Like, it should be Punk in that main event, in my view. And I was talking to Popper in the chats the other day. At best, I could see them maybe making it a 3-way, which was Popper's suggestion. I don't want that by any stretch, but you've got to do something with Cena at the same time as Punk. So maybe.
And that's where, I think that you have the opportunity, if Cena is continuing beyond WrestleMania and you're going to give him the strap at some point, right? Then so he can have the next one. Then maybe he gets a Money in the bank win, whatever. And then something happens here in the chamber that either he's kayfabe injured and so he can't do Mania, or that sets up some sort of rivalry from within the got people who are there, whether he faces a McIntyre or he faces a Damian Priest at WrestleMania to help put over one of those guys or something. Not that McIntyre really needs it, but maybe more of like a Priest. Although Priest is going face and Cena's usually face, so why would you put face? So who knows? But
I think if it were me, and they're not going to go this way, but I might do Cena versus Logan Paul, because Logan Paul could use the big match, and Cena
could
can
use a
have him
win.
bump all over the shop for him and not do
Right.
as much as he might need to do. Because John is a great in-ring performer, but he's not a great wrestler, if that makes any sense. He executes really good matches, but he does it in a sloppy-ish sort of a way. So, and because he's getting so old, it does.
39.
Yeah. I say old. What I mean is old.
Damian Priest is older than he is.
Priest looks amazing. He's
right,
really,
but Damian
really
Priest is older than John Cena.
Yes, right? But Cena has been bumping up and down forever, so he probably doesn't feel great. And he's also at least 50% rubber at this point, I'm convinced.
Am I not wrong in that? I don't know. How old is John Cena?
I am intrigued, but it wouldn't shock me if it was pretty close.
Oh no! I'm wrong. Cena's 47, and so I think Damian Priest is 42.
I mean, that is still for Priest is moving very well still, so there's no, and he's a tall guy, so his knees can't be loving him.
Damian Priest is 42. He was born in 82.
Right.
So
right.
How old's The Rock? He must be getting towards his 50s.
Oh, he's in his 50s. Closest. He was born in 72, so he's he'll be 52 this year.
Right.
But anyways,
yes. I feel like that sums up our thoughts about that promo last night.
It was. Well, but Terry, we knew it was going to be a long promo just because they didn't do the long promo right out of the gate on the, they got basically after they did here's people arriving at the arena. It was like into a match.
And man, was it a long promo. Did you see Grand Slam last week?
No.
It was in the Collision bracket, but it was Grand Slam last.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. SmackDown, there was one moment that I was literally, I was scared for a moment. And that was when Tiffany Stratton did her Charlotte Flair, the moonsault. I know
exactly what you're talking about.
And she came down and nobody was there.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. When it came back from commercial and she was up and moving around in the ring, I was like, oh, that girl lucked out big time.
That could have been broken ankles easy. The way she
broken
landed,
ankles, blown out knee, any number of things. Yeah. I mean, she was also lucky that she came down her legs there and all, because with nobody there to catch her, she came down flat.
That was hard all round. And it's weird because when she went up, I was like, I don't think this is a good idea. In my head, I was like, don't do this.
Wait a second. This is Charlotte's thing to do the backwards moonsault from the turnbuckle to floor. You do your prettiest moonsault, which is all right. Now that Bo's here, now we can talk about the Australian wrestling.
Yes, it was
or the wrestling in Australia.
It was a pretty great show. I mean, it was very similar to AEW's typical pay-per-views. So wrestling, not a lot of talking, just wrestling. But the crowd reaction was banana. They really went.
That's good for them.
There's a segment where Adam Copeland, the former
I
Edge.
I did see that, them singing his song, pulling the
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
the giving him the Randy Orton treatment.
they really went to town, and they were really up for everything on the show, which is always important when
Of course,
you can keep them along for that.
I say the Randy Orton treatment, but in reality, it's more the Jericho was the first one I remember seeing where everybody would sing his song.
You have Paul London coming on the show next week. Serious, because I will definitely be tuning in if you have Paul London on. That's mad. Is Paul London a comic guy? I'm intrigued. Oh, that's interesting. But yes, AEW put on a pretty great show, and the crowd reaction made it special, which is what you want, really.
I watched the ups and downs for it. Didn't get a chance to watch, but the only match on the card that I was at all interested in really was the Tony Storm thing, just because that's literally been the best storyline that they've done in a long time. And so if I was going to criticize it as a whole, the build-up has been slow to get going, and obviously they're like stacking the card with the sort of Aussie contingent, which is fine when they deserve it, but it's a bit hard when you're clearly doing it because every match has an Australian in, that kind of thing. Not that they don't deserve it from a talent perspective, but they have not been pushed well enough to be in that spot on the card. Really, the one that makes, I assume you're talking about mostly, is the Harley. What's her name?
Harley and Monet. Monet carried her to the best match she could have at the moment, so it was a pretty decent.
Harley's new, and Monet's not good. So I can't imagine that match was. I don't care what anybody says. I cannot stand Monet matches. She's horrible on a mic and she's mediocre on the mat. So I just think that watching her I'd rather have a root canal. Yeah,
I mean you're not alone in that. Some people can't stand her. Quite a lot of people can't stand her. So
the fact that they've thrown so many belts on her. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Yes, I mean the Tony Storm is the best character in wrestling right now, and has been for a while. But I mean, clear and away the most entertaining.
Yeah, it's really weird, actually. They once they put the TBS belt on Monet, then it's kind of like its own thing. It's just like another accessory on her now. It's like,
yes. I feel like she's actually found her groove now, but it took her way too long to. And I can understand why it would annoy someone if you don't like her shtick. I mean, it is what it is. Her character is inherently annoying, and her matches are only good some of the time. So it's
and it's not just her character. It's her delivery is just always feels like she's trying to remember what's going on in the back of her. The only reason that she was in my opinion good in WWE was because Bayley was there to talk, and Bayley is a much better speaker.
Certainly her skill does not lie within a promo, like in my opinion. Her delivery is hard to watch, which is not what you want.
I'm already struggling to pay attention. Oh, fast forwarding. All right, good.
Yes, so that was this week in wrestling. That was the Mowls-mania moments.
Are you going to try to squeeze in any of the new Evolve into your viewing?
Say that again. You blurred out on my earphones.
Are you planning to try to squeeze in any time to focus on Evolve at all?
I mean, that's asking a lot. I mean, Evolve. I didn't watch when it was Evolve, so having to watch what looks to me like a room with no people wrestling.
Yeah.
That's
It
going to
looks
be
like
a hard
the
sell.
back room at the performance center where they're doing tryouts or something.
Yes, Mark. He is now a Ricky Saints in NXT. Oh yeah, there you go. I'll let you know.
NXT, I'm like almost feeling like I need to. Haven't really watched it, but I kind of know. Every once in a while I know what's going on there. I'm like, they got some talent going on over there.
They really do. It's a good show. I feel like it might be a bit not in your cup of tea because they are predominantly wrestling because they need to get the reps in, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So there is less of the sort of storyline
It's
stuff.
more wrestling, but it's also getting them acquainted to the WWF style or WWE style of wrestling.
Yeah, it's
not
indie-rific like AEW is.
Right. But I mean, it's not. What's great about it though is the fact that they are getting those reps, they're getting the TV time, they're getting the promos. They've really built themselves a good feeder organization for WWE to the point where talent. If you're not performing, man, there's no need to keep you around because the next guy's there. I mean, and then sometimes there's so many of them sometimes that I forget. Like the other day, I was just sitting there watching SmackDown. I was going like. In my head, so whatever happened to Dragunov? And then I had to go, sir. Oh, he's out hurt. I mean, I didn't realize he was out hurt, but completely missed it. Didn't even write a storyline injury that I recall. It's just, okay.
I feel like NXT is the one to watch at the moment. They have a new enough crop interjected with really solid indie names that are very good. And one of my concerns with WWE is going forward, they'll all be wrestling the exact same style. And it's always a problem because historically, if you look at WWE's main brands now, they're all really indie guys from like the Ring of Honor days and CZW days, which sort of
Triple H likes that. Yeah.
It's not only he likes it, but it also means that they're fundamentally failing at the actual growing your own talent part of it, which is a problem.
Well, I think it's a different style. I think the difference was Triple H is happy to go look for people who are doing well on the indies and bring them up and kind of crossbreed what they're doing with the WWE style versus Vince, who was like, oh, let's go get CrossFit people and athletes and stuff, and we'll teach them how to wrestle and do this stuff, which wasn't working. It was evidenced by only three or four people that you can think of that actually did well that way, have done anything well.
Yeah.
But before we bore and make Terry and Tony consider unaliving themselves, there's one last wrestling question though that needs to be posed that I want to ask you. What about that Thunder Rosa save? So we had Statlander, the Statlander fight where she was fighting.
Oh, with Megan Bain.
Yeah, and then we get we get the 2-on-1.
Yeah,
Thunder Rosa comes out with the chair to save, and we get the biggest no sells awkward. Let's both touch the chair. I'm going to throw the chair at you.
That was weird. Weird at best. I was really confused because it got so weird that I thought she was going to turn heel. I was convinced that she was going to lamp her with the chair. But yeah, that was odd. I'm with you.
All right.
Yeah. Right. Let's move along from the wrestling to any other business. And there's only one piece of business left, really. And that's what have we got coming up? So let's start with Terry. What you got coming up, mate?
I just did a Daredevil, just done a Daredevil video, which whether I'm bringing it out in about half an hour's time or whether I'm bringing it out tomorrow, I've made my mind up yet. And I'm hoping to do a few other videos through the week. I've just, as I told you, I've just recently got, I haven't received it yet. I've just finished paying for a Batman 251, which means that I can do the year that was in as well. I did have the facsimile, but I thought it was a bit cheating to sort of show that year through use a facsimile rather than a real thing. So it cost me a fortune just to so I could be honest. But so I'll be putting that in for my next Batman video for that year, and hopefully be making a Superman and action super soon. So I've got trying to catch up with that. I mean, I'm only up to 1964. I've got a long time, so many years to go. But that's basically just trying to do as many of them as I can, but space them out so that they don't become boring. But that's about it.
I look forward to seeing that new one you've got coming in, because that's a heck of a book. Tony, are you doing anything? What's the plan going forward?
Well, as far as the channel goes, I'm pretty much on hiatus. This is going to be my last live appearance for a couple of weeks. I'm leaving tomorrow after church, and me and the family's going to Indiana. We're going to hang out there for about a week, check out some apartments. I got a tour of the Toyota plant for a potential move to Indiana. So that's going to be pretty cool. Next weekend, March 1st and 2nd, I'll be at the Evansville HorrorCon hanging out with David Howard Thornton and Daniel Harris. And, so that's going to be pretty cool. And then when I get back, I should have a couple awesome packages from Shortbox to open up. So that's going to be pretty cool. But other than that, the channel's pretty much on hiatus probably until April. And I've got some ideas in this head of mine for some new segments, some comic related, some not, that I think will be interesting. So that's pretty much it. And then about 20 minutes, I'm going to go to my mom's and we're going to do our birthday thing for my wife. So,
Brilliant.
Happy birthday to your wife.
Yeah, happy birthday. If she's watching, happy birthday. There we go. Rob, what do you got on?
Well, just for giggles, I had edited up and posted this morning the Justin Birch got a Fat Stacks mystery box that he unboxed live during Legion of Comics. And so for somebody who wants to see it, didn't want to surf through 2 hours of Legion of Comics channel, I chopped it up and got it on the channel right now. But Monday will be my regular mail call. And I'm not sure what we're doing Thursday, but I do know that next Saturday will be a very special Saturday as I swap times with the Mal. And only Slabs will be on at the 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. And we will have Neville Grail Hunter from Australia on.
Tremendous stuff. I actually watched that video of the unboxing just before I came on here. And yeah, have you got any mystery boxes left? Because that was great.
No. There were 5 of them, and they were sold out in just a moment.
So everybody, next time Rob does a mystery box, get on it, because that's a banger right there.
I don't do them very often, which is why and then when I decided I was going to do, I had talked about it for a bit that I would do one, probably a small run. And so what I did, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do 5 boxes because I know 5 boxes will sell out quick. Nothing's worse than like creating like a big run and then sitting there with like only half of them sell. And then you're like trying it for a week or so, you're trying to sell the rest. So now it was just very simple. It's like, okay, $5 boxes at $55 plus shipping. I mean, how could you can't go too far wrong. And then it's like you saw, it was mostly older books and stuff too. So it's just, so fortunately I have enough of a reputation from building some in the past that the people who knew.
Yeah, they jumped on it. Yeah.
Well, plus I did give people, there were some of the people like in the Goon Squad stuff, for example, I did give channel members were teased ahead of time that this was happening, versus they had a small advantage, the Goon Squad did, over everybody else, because nobody else knew. I didn't make announcements they were going on sale that day except to like the Goon Squad chat, or I said, hey, these will be going on sale later today. I didn't even say what time. It was just like, later today. To hit notify.
Yeah. I was kicking myself.
Yeah.
Always the way.
So, Rob, did you said 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that's 10 o'clock our time, isn't it? So in the
yes,
evening.
it should
Yes.
be 10 p.m. for us.
When this show started is when
Yeah.
Only Slabs will start next week.
Yeah.
Are you now, DVH? You're doing your show early next week, or are you?
We'll see. I might just have it off. It depends because, like, with Tony gone,
Let's go head to head. Let's go head to head. Let's do it.
Yeah, that's not happening. I've got to get my Only Slabs fixed.
Yeah, I wouldn't be available to be on next week because of
exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
The whole reason I'm shifting my show.
It was nice to see, Rob, that you say, because I mean, at one particular time you had over 100 watching. So it was nice.
Yeah,
it was a big episode. Hopefully next week's too will be pretty good because I know that folks, it's actually on the promo card. Hold on, I'll tell you because I have an Australian guest. The time is marked. It is, let's see, upcoming live streams.
It's 10 o'clock in the morning for them.
No, I think it's like 9 a.m. or something. It's 9 a.m. Melbourne time, I think it is. But oh god, it's covered up by the stupid notify me thing. All right, let me pull. Hold on, I'm looking for you, Bo. Hold on, I got to pull up the graphic that I made. Here is Only Slabs, March 1st. Special time is not listed on that one. What the hell? Here it is. March 2nd at 9 a.m. Melbourne time. So Sunday at 9 a.m. Melbourne.
Tremendous. So everybody's covered now. We should be.
Yeah, and that'll be that's like the last week before America decides to switch our daylight savings time. The rest of the world isn't. So in 2 weeks' time, it'll all be screwed up for everybody except America and Canada.
Tremendous. Myself, I have not unboxed anything in about 3 weeks. So I need to shoot some videos tomorrow. If all goes to plan, I should have a video up on Tuesday.
From the hallway.
Oh, the hallway is ridiculous now. It's not just the hallway anymore. It's now in the living room too. So I'm about to get offed by the wife if I'm not careful.
You're gonna have to start. You're gonna have to start doing multiple unboxings.
Yeah. I mean, usually I would shoot
or
2
mega ones
videos a week, but now I think I'm gonna have to do one big block of 6, probably.
You'll be trimming your own beard if you carry on.
Another couple. You just have to do like bigger unboxings.
That's also a thing that I could do. Just stack them so they're about 20 minutes long, and everybody falls asleep. With that, there's nothing else to say other than all those in favour of ending Parliament say hoot.
Hoot.
Tremendous. And yes, we will catch you next time in the Spiral Dimension. Peace.
And I don't really know. Well, I suppose, no. Really what happened was, no, the thing is, rather than confront, I thought...
Skip to the end.